It's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's capital. We got our space heaters on full blast up in the booth at FedEx Field. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. First play, and Heineke looking to pass it. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Heineke. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Heineke again. Open man is the tight end, John Bates. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 24, Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Cousins to throw it. And his pass incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. To throw is Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he's not quite going to get to the marker. It'll be a gain of 8 on 3rd and 10. And now a decision here on the opening drive. 4th and very short, this part of the field. What do you think they do, CD?
I think you go for it. I think there's a lot of game left to be played. I like the advantage that they're trying to create here early. I say be aggressive and try and get it done.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. A run here for the rookie. It's Brian Robinson. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Heineke now. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Heineke. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And yet again. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. From the 44, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 30 on second down, Cousins. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
On third down, Cousins. And this is caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson. 36 yards. And the Vikings use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Let's go right here. Let's ride, dog. I'm back for one, boys.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, Antonio Gibson with it. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw is Heineke. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this returnable. Now a hit and a loose football. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score. And Joey Sly on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. Throw caught there by Osborne. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up a third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, That makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So on fourth down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's Gibson again. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On third down, Heineke. And Thomas has it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
From just shy of midfield, Heineke. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Vikings will take over possession here up at the 44. Following the interception, Cousins. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Play action now, Cousins. Open man is Osborne. He's got him. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A gain of 8 and a 1st down.
Well, they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the 1st half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. From the gun, here's Cousins. He finds his man, complete. That's Osborne. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down. Throwing, Cousins. Got an open man, finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
So you think it's not tough playing quarterback in the NFL? How about what we just saw there? The rush got home on 3rd down. He had to stand in there and take the shot as he released it. Throws on target, though, and it's good enough to keep the drive moving.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Again, it's Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. To throw, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
4th down, field goal try coming. So Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph for Minnesota. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. The kick by Joseph is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Let's go do this thing, baby. Let's go baby. Get it on right now. Take that. I'm coming. Let's go. Let's go. I know you play. Let's play now, baby. Let's go. That elbow is back. Let's go, let's go. Get it now. What's the deal, y'all?
Joseph now to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it no matter the sport. They say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Heineke. Flush to his right. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Heineke. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And now out comes Minnesota. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Yep. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Cousins now. Over the middle, complete. It's Osborne. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Cousins. He finds his man, complete. That's Osborne. And he will have a Vikings 1st down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. That's a quick slant. He finds Adam Thielen. And the Vikings are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, he left no doubt about that one, because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Cousins. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
3rd and goal for Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime. Joseph now to add the PAT. It's good to make it 17-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. Washington going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. From the 25 on 2nd down, Cousins. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Chase Young picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Robinson here. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Heineke from the gun on third down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Heineke on first down. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. A huge play there for Washington. 42 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Gibson again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Gibson. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And you know it pains them to be this close, and you know they're going to want to go for it here, but they absolutely have to kick the field goal and get this back to a 1-score game. It's only logical.
Now Heineke on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They try to throw on 4th and goal from the 2, and instead of having a 1-score game, they'll remain 2 scores down. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Cousins to throw it. And Cook has it, left side. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. So no gain on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Again, it's Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 25-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. He's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Deron Payne coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Chase Young getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Joseph's got it, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Let's go, fellas. Y'all got time. Let's go. All right, go get him now. Let's go, baby. Turn it up. Yeah, Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's go. Let's get him now. Get him going.
Joseph now to kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Washington offense set to take over again. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time, but you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Following the interception, Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Cook. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Cousins. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Dalvin Cook so good in the open field, but he's equally good down here near the goal line. He can find those seams and just push his way through. So he might get another chance or two to punch this one in.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is... And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook punching it in from a yard away. And the Vikings have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Heineke. Steps away to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun. Here's Heineke. Thomas has got it. Complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Working with a 2nd and 4. From the gun, Heineke. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And they'll throw again. Heineke. He'll dump that off to Gibson. Complete. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
On 3rd down, Heineke. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Fourth down, Heineke. And he finds McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington! Terry McLaurin, 35 yards. And the Commanders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Slide for the PAT. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They'll try the middle with Cook. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Third down, here's a run by Cook. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. Heineke now in the Washington offense. Down by 12. 1:40 remaining. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. On 1st and 10, Heineke. Dancing to his left. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Heineke. Pass complete, Thomas. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Third and short yardage, Heineke. He's going to wind up and air it out. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Again, it's Heineke. Escaping the pressure. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Let's go do this thing. What's the deal, y'all?
So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though. Now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it. What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.